Dear students, today we will continue with architecture and layers in that TCP/IP protocol architecture. As you know, communication is the process of transfer of information from one place to another. Either it could be the transmission of calls from one device to another or transfer of files from one computer to another computer. Earlier, the world was have brought a tremendous evolution, the communication electronics. Today, we use digital communication methods everywhere. With the development of technology, many types of communication devices are being implemented. To establish proper and error-free communication between devices of different types and different configurations. All the device must follow some standard protocols. As you know, protocol is a set of rules to govern the network operations. And there must be one standard protocol for the transmission of information from one side to another side or one device to another device. If both the devices are having same protocols, then only we can make the communication. One such standard protocol for communication between different devices is TCP/IP protocol. Even you know, in internet, the major protocol is TCP/IP, Transmission Control Protocol and Internet Protocol. And this transmission control protocol is needed to transmit the information on the network. Internet protocol, that is IP, is needed to identify the devices which are used as a sender or receiver. Next is the need for protocol architecture. Why we need this protocol concept? To transfer data, several tasks must be performed. In that first one is the source must activate communication path or inform network of destination. That means when the source is sending some information, it has to check whether the communication path is in correct form or not. Afterwards, it has to check whether the destination is responding. Okay, that type of concept, that is the first one. Second one, the source must make sure that destination is prepared to receive data. Third one, the file transfer application, FTP, on source must confirm file management program at destination is prepared to accept and store file. A format translation function may need to be performed if the formats on systems are different. Maybe if you are sending in different format, if it is in receiving in different format, then format translation functions are needed on both the side. So these are the methods when we are transferring data from sender to receiver. And that is the need of protocol architecture. Functions of protocol architecture. It breaks logic into subtask modules which are implemented separately. Modules are arranged in a vertical stack. Each layer in the stack performs a subset of functions. Okay, as you know, modules are arranged in a vertical stack. Stack means whichever comes at the end, that module will be kept at the top. Each layer in the stack performs a subset of functions. Relies on next lower layer for primitive functions. Changes in one layer should not require changes in other layers. So these are the functions. Key features of protocol. A protocol, as I said, set of rules or conventions that allow peer layers to communicate. The key feature of a protocol are, first one, syntax. Okay, that is nothing but format of data blocks, and then semantics, control information for coordination and error handling, that is called semantics. Commonly in the programming we will call semantics as a logic and syntax as a grammar. In the same way here, syntax is nothing but the format of data blocks, and the semantics is nothing but control information for the coordination and error handling. Coordination of the data blocks and the error handling. If the error comes, again it has to resend the information, and that thing will call it as a semantics. Timing, speed, matching and sequencing. There must be match between the devices. The device has to match each other and communicating, and that we will call it as a timing. So these are the three concepts in the protocol architecture: syntax, semantics and timings. Communication layers. Communication tasks are organized into three relatively independent layers. First one, network access layer, which is used for the exchange of data. Second one, transport layer, provides reliable data transfer. To transfer the data from one part to another part, there will be a transport layer. And third one, application layer, contains logic to support application. That means at the top there may be application layer, below that transport layer, and below that there may be network access layer. These are called communication layer. So there will be like 4 or 5 different layers, but 3 layers in the protocol architecture are used as communication layers. So we will see first one, that is network access layer. It covers the exchange of data between an end system and the network that is attached to. Covers the exchange of data between the end system and the network that it is attached to. That means network access layer is connecting the communication network with the end system. Concerned with issues like destination address provision, invoking specific services like priority, access to and routing data across a network for two end systems attached to the same network. Okay, so these are the goals of network access layer. Destination address provision, it provides the destination address. Then it invokes the service, that means it starts making the use of network, okay, to send the information. Access to and routing data across a network for two end systems attached to the same network. Second one is transport layer. It is concerned with providing reliable delivery of data. Concerned with providing reliable delivery of data, transport layer. That means it will check, it is having protocols, and it will check whether the received data is in correct form or not. Okay, that is transport layer, concerned with providing reliable delivery of data. Essentially independent of the nature of the application, common layer shared by all applications. Transport layer is one common layer shared by all application. As I said, after the application, below that there will be a transport layer. So that's why it is called as common layer. Third one is application layer. It contains the logic needed to support user application. That means the user interacts with the system by the help of this application layer. Separate module is needed for each type of application. Okay, we can see this figure. By that you will understand protocol architecture and network, how it will be. Maybe for example, there are three computers here, computer A and computer B and computer C. And you can see in all the computer, there are 3 layers for the transmission. That means for the communication. That means when it comes to the communication, each computer must have these 3 layers: network layer, transport layer, and application layer. You can see application layer at the top, below that transport layer, below that network access layer. And here application layer connects with another computer through application protocol, and transport layer connects with another computer by using transport protocol. Same will be the case with all the computers. And this is a network media that is indicated as communication network. And remember, for each and every layer in the network, there will be a separate protocol. For application layer, there are some protocol. For transport layer, there are some protocols. And for the network access layer, there are different protocols. Okay. We can see simplified architecture for file transfer. How the architecture looks like. So with the communication network, maybe computer A and computer B are connected, and computer A maybe try to send the data from to computer B, and this data you can see here, data is transmitted in the network, but before moving to the second one, it has to take the destination address. Here there is a protocol, and this protocol contains the information, that is the from 1 and to 2 and the data. That means here sender's data, sender's information, receiver information, then the data. Okay, that is in the transport layer. In the application layer, there is data, and in the transport layer, there is information in the protocol, that is from which computer it is, then below that to which computer, and then which is the message or data we are sending. And the network access layer contains this many information from A, that is from the sender, to B, to receiver's address, from 1 and to 2 to computer B data. Okay, so these information are sent on the communication network. There will be many number of computer. Then it has to know who is the sender and who is the receiver on that protocol. That means the network access protocol contains all the information related to computer A and computer B. And then it will use the communication network to communicate with another computer. Another computer receives the same information, then it can make use of data. The TCP/IP model, Transmission Control Protocol, Internet Protocol model. In this model, earlier there were 4 layers: host-to-host network, internet layer, transport layer, and application layer. Okay, host-to-host network, internet layer, transport layer, and application layer. However, when TCP/IP is compared to OSI model, okay, there are 2 type of architectures in computer network. One is TCP/IP architecture, another one is OSI architecture. When we compare this TCP/IP architecture with OSI, we can say that the TCP/IP protocol is made of 5 layers, and OSI model is made of 7 layers. Okay, TCP/IP layer contains 5 layers. One is physical layer, second one is data link layer, third one network layer, fourth one transport layer, and fifth one application layer. But OSI model contains 7 layers. You can see here in the figure. Physical layer, data link layer, network layer, then the transport layer, then the 4 layers are over. But in the TCP IP layer, application, presentation and session layer are taken as only one layer called application layer. So that's why in TCP IP model there are only 5 layers. But in the OSI model there are 7 layers since application layer is split into 3 parts: application layer, presentation layer and the session layer. Okay, and you can see the protocols which are available in different layers. In application, presentation and session layer there are 5 or 6 or more than that maybe protocols: SMTP, FTP, HTTP, DNS, SNMP, Telnet. These are the common protocols in the application, presentation and session layers of OSI model. But in the transport, SCTP, TCP, UDP are the common protocols. But in the network or internet layer, ICMP, IGMP, RARP, ARP and internet protocol are the common protocols. But in the data link and physical, protocols defined by the underlying networks, host to host network. And in the data link and physical, there will be a address with the physical device. By that it can identify the devices. In the next class I'll explain all 7 layers of OSI model. But remember, TCP IP model is commonly used with the internet and the OSI model is commonly used with the network communication. Thank you students. God bless you.